How mountains are made. Noah pressed his face to the cold window. In the distance, the hills caught the last orange glow of sunset. Liam, how did hills get there? Did someone pile up all that dirt? Liam laughed and reached for the telescope. Something much more powerful than shovels. Let's go see. The brass warmed, the room faded, and the brothers stood on the edge of a vast canyon. In fast forward, we watched two enormous slabs of the Earth's crust creeping toward each other like two slow-motion bulldozers about to collide. Fold mountains when continents crash. Remember tectonic plates from our earthquake lesson? Liam said. When two plates carrying continents collide, neither one can sink beneath the other because continental rock is too light and thick. Instead, the rock at the edge crumples, buckles, and folds upward like pushing two sides of a tablecloth toward each other. The wrinkles become mountains. Noah watched in awe as layers of rock folded upward into jagged peaks. Is that how the Himalayas formed? Exactly. About 50 million years ago, the Indian plate crashed into the Eurasian plate. The collision pushed rock upward, creating the tallest mountain range on Earth. Mount Everest, the highest peak, stands 29,032 feet above sea level. And here's something incredible, the Himalayas are still growing about half an inch per year because India is still pushing into Asia. The mountains are still being built right now? Right now. The Alps in Europe formed the same way Africa pushing into Europe. The Appalachian Mountains in the eastern United States were once as tall as the Himalayas, about 480 million years ago. But hundreds of millions of years of rain, ice, and wind have worn them down to the gentle, rounded mountains you see today. Mountains have lifespans, just like everything else. Volcanic mountains, built from the inside. The scene shifted. Now they watched lava erupting from a crack in the earth, layer after layer cooling and hardening into rock. Some mountains aren't pushed up from the side, they're built from below, Liam said. When magma erupts through the surface, each eruption adds a new layer of lava and ash. Over thousands or millions of years, these layers pile up into a volcanic mountain. Mount Fuji, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Rainier, all volcanic. Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa is the tallest freestanding mountain in the world at 19,341 feet. It's actually made of three volcanic cones, Kibo, Mwenzi, and Shira. Kibo is the tallest and the only one that could still erupt. Noah grinned. So some mountains grow from crashing and some from erupting? And some from stretching, Liam said. Fault block mountains pulled apart. They watched the ground split as two plates pulled away from each other. Enormous blocks of rock tilted and rose on the cracks, called faults, creating steep, dramatic peaks on one side and gentle slopes on the other. These are fault block mountains, Liam explained. When the crust is pulled apart by tectonic forces, huge blocks of rock drop down or tilt upward along fault lines. The Sierra Nevada in California formed this way, a single enormous block of granite tilted skyward, creating a steep eastern face and a gentler western slope. The Tetons in Wyoming are another perfect example, the youngest and most dramatic fault block mountains in the Rockies. Dome mountains, the quiet giants. There's one more kind, Liam said. The scene showed magma rising from deep underground, but this time it didn't break through the surface. Instead, it pushed the rock above it upward into a rounded bulge, like a giant blister. Dome mountains form when magma pushes up beneath the crust but never erupts. The overlying rock gets bent into a dome shape. Over time, erosion strips away the softer outer layers, revealing the hard igneous rock underneath. The Black Hills in South Dakota are dome mountains. Mount Rushmore is carved into this type of rock. Mountains and life. Mountains aren't just rock, Liam said as the telescope prepared to bring them home. They shape everything around them. Mountain ranges block wind and rain, creating deserts on one side and lush forests on the other, the rain-shadow effect. Rivers are born in mountains, carrying snowmelt and rainwater downhill to water the valleys where most people live. Mountains even affect the weather, forcing air upward where it cools, forms clouds, and drops rain. And different animals live at different heights, Noah added, remembering earlier lessons. Like how there are snow leopards at the top and monkeys at the bottom. Exactly. As you go higher, The temperature drops about 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit for every 1,000 feet. A mountain is like stacking several climate zones on top of each other: tropical forest at the base, temperate forest in the middle, alpine tundra near the top, and ice and snow at the summit. The telescope flashed, and they were home. Noah looked at the distant hills again, now fading to silhouettes against the darkening sky. "Those hills," he said. "They used to be so much taller?" "Millions of years of rain and wind," Liam said, setting the telescope down. "Nothing lasts forever. But nothing is ever really gone, either. The rock from those ancient peaks is now the soil in our garden, the sand on the beach, the mud at the bottom of the river. Good night, mountains. Good night, planet builder."